Primal MT, baby. It's ready to go. Look at this. No worries. No worries. What's up, guys? This is the world's largest fit-scale production gas two-stroke monster truck, the Primal MT. I was one of the first to ever get this, and I have the first gen model, serial number 32. Very, very low production number. One of the first runs. I pre-ordered this. I sold my damn 1998 Honda Civic EX with only 50,000 original miles to buy this truck. Am I happy? Yes, I am very happy. Now, I know many of you have seen videos on this. This is one of my most popular trucks on my channel. In fact, I towed a tree. I did a lot of fun stuff, but I had one malfunction with it so far. This power switch, guys. So last time when I towed a tree, I must have backed up directly into the tree stump and probably destroyed the power switch. So all I did, I purchased a new power switch on Amazon. These are like generic power switches, and I soldered it in. Let's start her up. Subscribe. This is Jackass Steve-O's not here. My name is Dimitri, also known as Two Box. I'm throwing the Christmas tree out the window because the Primal MT is gonna take out the trash.
All right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is.
We have it tied up to the back of the Primal MT. I'm using this hole already provided for us in this bumper. Yeah, boy, yeah! Ah! You guys just saw that. I'm not sure what happened, but it just literally just shut down on me. I don't know. I went to move the remote here. Everything doesn't turn on anymore. So the battery connection seems fine. I checked the wires. None of the wires are broken or frayed from what I just did. But you see this kill switch here? It should have at least a red or a green light. But as I put the power on and off, there's literally nothing. I've already attempted to remove the connection, check all the wiring. Maybe the battery is somehow shorted out. I don't know. But don't worry, guys. I am going to be fixing this sooner or later, and then we're going to pull something else. I know for a fact I had a power switch failure because when I would turn on the power switch, there was no power going to the car. I connected a separate battery directly into the receiver, and I did confirm the entire car still works. Everything is okay. The only problem is, the original power switch in this truck, if you look at the Primal MT website, there is a replacement one, but it is part of an entire wiring harness that goes throughout this entire truck. It is fairly inexpensive, only $35. I just didn't feel like having to replace every single zip tie, all the wire connections, the wire mesh. The wiring on this truck, it's honestly not far off from a real car that you would have. It's an entire freaking wiring harness. Very cool if you ask me. This truck is so big, I have to do this video in a very awkward sitting position because it's just hard to get this all on video. In order to even get this in my house, I have to remove the wheels. That is how wide this truck is. 80 pounds, 40 inches. Without the wheels, 60 pounds. You really have to be fit in order to have a car like this. Do I not like that? No, I love it. I think your gas RCs should be pushing you to be at your best. Let me take the body off. I'll show you guys what I did. It's been a while since I ran this truck, so I also did have one other situation. My fuel lines were destroyed. With the body removed, you could see what's going on. Yep, I cut off the original power switch, and I simply just soldered in a brand new Dean's connector right here. Now, if I have to replace the power switch, it really is just a piece of cake. Just disconnect this, and you have the entire wiring harness going throughout the car. You guys see that? It goes all the way here to the servos, all the way in the front. I don't want to have to deal with that mess. There's a whole bunch of complicated wires going on over here. This thing has a factory kill switch, which is the only RC that I'm aware of that comes with a factory 3rd channel kill switch. Very good thinking from Primal. I am very happy with that. I had to replace the fuel lines. You could see that I do not have the original fuel lines. I put a fuel filter only because I ran out of fuel line. I ordered some more, so I had to kind of like splice it in, use this original black fuel line here, and then, you know, some that I had. You don't really need a second fuel filter. The reason is, you guys see what I'm pointing to right now inside the tank? That is the fuel filter, which itself is the pickup. So there's absolutely no situations you could have with dirt getting into the motor. It's highly unlikely. And I gotta say, the issues I had with just the simple wiring harness, I replaced it. I wanted to use the same original power switch location, and it's mounted here in the back. It's possible that the original switch itself was just, you know, broken on the inside. I tried to repair it as much as I can, but it's unrepairable. There are these little jumpers on the inside there. When you move the switch left and right, you know, on and off positions, it's unrepairable. So $10, new power switch, and now it's fully replaceable. Check this out, guys. You see what I'm talking about? I could just disconnect the battery here, the wiring harness, and I have myself a new style Dean's adapter, in case you were thinking what this is. Yes, I soldered this myself. It looks highly professional. I'll put a link to these Dean's adapters. I think these are like the new style. They're called Gen 2, I think. I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. We got our tachometer. We have a clean fuel tank. We have new fuel lines. Unlike a typical carb and a gas RC, these 50cc pocket bike motors have completely different looking carbs. These are generally used on larger engines. This one is one that I have to put on this Primal sooner or later. This is a TMR modified 2-needle carb. So the way this works is, you see on the side here, this big brass screw, that's your high-speed needle. And on top, this one has been modified by TMR to now include a low-speed needle. Take a look at the one that's on the car right now. This is the original carb. I have not done any work to it at all. You could tell on top, that brass fitting there, there's no slot in it. That is because it's a single needle carb. The one on the side, that is your high-speed needle. But the factory carb on this thing in the Gen 1 model does not include a low-speed needle adjustment, just like this modded TMR carb does. Here you can clearly see the difference. Oh, please camera focus, please. You can clearly see the difference now. The one on top, the TMR carb, has a little slot there for your low-speed needle adjustment. The factory carb and the Primal does not. That is why oftentimes when people are like, oh, this thing is slow, why is it this, why is it that? It just needs a carb upgrade. And guys, don't forget, this is a giant monster truck. I drove this over myself. This thing could pull a whole damn full-size car. In fact, watch this video of this truck pulling a whole full-size Dodge Ram. This cool teardrop cover does look cool, but it also houses the main chain drive. Just 2 screws, remove them, you know. Sometimes you do have issues with thread lock. Just use a soldering iron, apply some heat. I did have one already stripped, right? I had to cut myself a flathead little slot here, but it's no big deal. Fully reusable. Hardware is pretty normal on these things. Let's remove the gear cover. Check out the inside. I have never really done any maintenance to it. So yeah, the grease, I could still see it's packed full of grease. It's a good amount in there. It is dirty, but I do not see any sand inside. Maybe like on the outside here, there is some sand. But I would say overall, very, very good condition of this chain, guys. Look at this chain. Primal went through a lot of effort designing a giant clutch for this. Not at all like on any other gas RC. You have reverse in this truck. It's insane. In terms of speed, let me just show you this right here. Take a look at this. It comes with optional gears. You could make this thing hit 30 miles an hour if you wanted to replace these gears, right? These would be the pinion gears that you would put on, and this thing will be super, super fast. The gears do not go here, of course. Just don't think I mean they go here. They don't go here. There are gears on the other side of the transfer case inside there. This thing is complicated. You can get this thing to be a sick crawler or to hit 30 miles an hour. Now this is just a standard gear ratio. My top speed is about 16 miles an hour with the single needle carb. I think it'll grow to maybe a little bit under 20 with a 2-needle carb and a better tune. Look at this gear mechanism. It's beautiful. Just the design itself. It's just so massive, you know. You're not gonna see stuff like this on other gas RCs. This is why Primal could charge you the big bucks for this. And if you ask me, the asking price for this car is really worth it. Think of all the stuff you get. Look at all this metal. And you're looking at a stock factory ready to run right here. Only thing I did was put on these shock covers. That's the only thing I did, guys. You have 270-kilogram servos in the front. That means 140 inches of steering torque, guys. That's just insane. Solid axle. You have brakes on the pumpkins right there. Literally just like the Monster Jam version of this truck, which, yes, it is designed to look like, you know, the Monster Jam Raminator. There's no denying that. That's the whole goal. Nice welded steel pipe. I mean, there's really nothing here that I can tell you that I'm not happy with. I'm happy with everything. All that's left to do is to crush some electrics. I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. In fact, I already have myself a cool little plan. You see this old Dell Windows laptop? Think to yourself all the times your Windows laptops have pissed you off. Well, this one has pissed me off enough. I am gonna have to destroy this, drive over it with the screen open with this Primal MT. I think the 12-inch tires this thing has will really show this old Dell Windows laptop what it's all about. I'm not gonna let these Windows software programs piss me off. That's why I use a Mac, and that's why I have a Primal MT, because when laptops are bad for you guys, just send them to me. I'll crush them with this Primal MT. I'm not kidding, I'm gonna do it. Put in the comments if you wanna see that happen. Time to do a first start, baby. System is on, kill switch working. Let's do this. This is just priming the motor a little bit. Are you ready? I think I'm ready. Oh yeah, baby, that's right. It's on. Primal MT2. Primal MT, baby, it's ready to go. Look at this. No worries. No worries. Subaru Baja 1-to-1 scale. They do exist. I got another guitar. Do you remember what happened last time I had a guitar on the show? Take a look at this.